Good afternoon, guys. We're going to be doing videos 19 and 20 today. So 19 is a simple topic, and you probably already know how to do it from Algebra 1. But it is multiplying polynomials. And so the method that I use is just to simply distribute and combine like terms. But there are two other methods. You could also use FOIL or the box method. I'm going to go over just how to distribute it and or the box method, and then you can choose which one that you prefer. So example number 1, we're going to multiply a plus 8 and a minus 5. Now remember, if I'm going too fast, you can pause the video while you're writing something down. Okay, I'm going to distribute. Okay, and then I will show you the box method. So the first method I'm going to use is by distributing. And when I say distribute, you have to multiply everything in the first polynomial by everything in the second. So first term times first term here is a squared. Now, only when we multiply do we change our exponents. So a to the first times a to the first is a squared. A times negative 5 is negative 5a. Now, you can list your terms horizontally, or you can list your terms vertically. It's up to you. But now I'm going to multiply the second term to the first term here. So 8 times a is positive 8a, and 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. Then I'm going to combine like terms. And the only two things that are alike are the middle terms because they both have a degree of 1. So my final answer is a squared plus 3a minus 40. And that would be the answer. The box method is a great way to organize your terms, especially when this becomes more than just 2 in each. The box method helps us not skip anything. So in the box method, I'm going to treat this almost like a multiplication table. So watch this. The first one, a plus 8 and a minus 5. Now, it doesn't matter if you had done a minus 5 here and a plus 8. It doesn't matter where you put them. But notice I put the signs in front of them, so I know that this is a minus 5 and a positive 8. And then you're going to fill in each box by multiplying what's on the outside. So a times a would give us a squared. A times negative 5 is negative 5a. 8 times a is 8a. 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. And then still I would combine like terms, which in this case are these terms here. So my answer is still a squared plus 3a minus 40. So you pick the method that you are most comfortable with and that makes the most sense to you. So you can distribute or you can use the box method. Your choice. Okay? Let's try one more together. Again, I'm going to write the problem, and then you can distribute. You can pause the video, check your work. Okay, so here I've written the problem down. Pause the video, try one out. Okay, and see if you get the same answer. And then you push play, and you see if you get the same answer. You can, fast forward or whatever you need. So again, I'm going to use the distribute method. So 2x times 3x is 6x squared. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6, x times x is x squared. 2x times positive 2 is positive 4x. Negative 3 times 3x is negative 9x. And negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So the 2 in the middle are my like terms. I'm going to keep everything in order. So 6x squared minus 5x minus 6. And that is our answer. Okay, now moving on I'm going to do one more, and then we'll start some lesson practice. So let's do a little bit more complicated of one. Y plus 5, parentheses, 3y squared minus 2y plus 7. Now, I'm going to still use the distribution method, but again, you don't have to. It might make more sense for you in a problem like this to use the box method because you're not going to lose any of your terms. I like to distribute, but I'm going to organize my terms vertically, and I can show you both. So I'll show you what I mean by vertically. Y times 3y squared would be 3y to the third, right? Because y to the first times y squared. Y times negative 2y would give me negative 2y squared, and y times 7 would give me 7y. Now, I'm going to then, on the next round, so on the second round, I'm going to list terms vertically or under the first row. So what I mean by that is 5 times 3y squared. Well, I know that that's going to give me a positive 15y squared. And positive 5 times negative 2y is negative 10y. And 5 times 7 is positive 35. And maybe you'll see the way I like to do that is that my like terms are already set up that way. Okay, so I wrote them underneath. And then I'm simply going to now combine and bring things down. So I get 3y cubed plus 13y squared minus 3y plus 35. Now, this problem might have made the most sense in a box for some of you. So y plus 5, that would create 2 rows. The top has 3 terms, 3y squared minus 2y plus 7. That would create 3 columns. And then you would fill in the missing terms. So this would give me 3y cubed minus 2y squared plus 7y, 15y squared minus 10y plus 35. And then your like terms will always come out to be diagonal. So this would equal 3y cubed plus 13y squared minus 3y plus 35. So I'd like you to pick the method. Like this might make more sense for you because it keeps the terms organized. Okay, you don't have to list it vertically. I do that because it helps me keep my like terms. But that might be too much for you. So you do what method. You can just distribute or you can do this method here. All right, so let's do some lesson practice. Our lesson practice will be in red. And it's on page 132. So part A, they asked us to multiply a plus 7 times a minus 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and write the answer, or you can work it out and then check your work. But I get a squared minus 4a plus 7a minus 28. So my final answer is a squared plus 3a minus 28. Part B asks us to multiply 4x plus 5 and 3x minus 2. So if you distribute, I got 12x. Whoops, sorry, there's no squared there. 12x squared minus 8x plus 15x minus 10. So my answer is 12x squared plus 7x minus 10. Part C asked us to multiply a plus 9 times 2a squared minus 6a plus 5. So I got 2a cubed minus 6a squared plus 5a. That's the result of distributing the first one. This is a 9. Be careful you don't write another a, plus 18a squared minus 54a plus 40 plus 45. Sorry. And if I combine like terms, I get 2a cubed. Those two are alike, so plus 12a squared. These are alike, so negative 54 and positive 5 is negative 49a, and then plus 45. Moving on. So now I'd like to go over how to multiply 3 polynomials. And the only way you can do it is to multiply 2 at a time. So I'm going to do an example with you before we do our lesson practice. So for example, I don't know what number we're on. So x plus 3 times x minus 2 times x plus 5. So first, I'm going to pick the first two. I'm going to multiply these first. Okay, I can only multiply 2 at a time. These two first. So that would give me x times x, which is x squared, x times negative 2, negative 2x, plus 3x, minus 6. I'm going to combine like terms, so I get x squared plus 1x minus 6. Now I'm going to bring down the third. Okay, so then bring third one down. So now I'm multiplying these two. Okay, so I first started here with multiplying these. Now I'm multiplying the product of the first two by the third. So x squared times x gives me x cubed. X squared times 5 is 5x squared. 1x times x is x squared. 1x times 5 is 5x. Negative 6 times x, negative 6 times 5. Notice my like terms are written together. So my final answer is x cubed plus 6x squared minus x minus 30. Okay. So we're going to end up practicing one like that in our lesson practice. So I'm going to move on to the next. Now, I'm going to move on to more complicated ones. So ones where it has one or more variables or written different. So here's another example. So if I have 2y minus 5 squared, that right there means I have 2 of them, and I have to write it out. So 2y, and this is a problem that most people skip, like you're probably not going to watch the video. Those of you who don't watch the video, I'll know you didn't by how you solve this problem on your next test. Some of you are just going to write 4y squared plus 25. No, 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 no. This is a sum or difference, then you have to actually distribute. So 2y times 2y is 4y squared minus 10y plus 25. So my final answer is 4y squared minus 20y plus 25. So don't forget to write them. Okay, next one. We're going to put more than one variable in here. So 3x plus 2y squared. Now again, we know that that squared means that I have 2 of them. It means that I have 3x plus 2y and another 3x plus 2y. I can't simply square them. You can only do that if the sign in between is a multiplication. But this is a sum, so you have to write them twice. So I get 9x squared plus 6y, whoops, my bad, plus 6xy, okay? Notice I kept the letters in alphabetical order when multiplying these. So 3 times 2 is 6, x times y. So 6xy. Now 2y times 3x, I'm going to keep the letters in alphabetical order, so 6xy. 2y times 2y is 4y squared. So my final answer is 9x squared plus 12xy plus 4y squared, because these right here are like terms. So back to our lesson practice, part D. D asks us to multiply r plus 3 times r minus 6 times r plus 2. And we can only do 2 at a time. So I'm going to start with these two. So that gives me r squared minus 6r plus 3r minus 18. That gives me r squared minus 3r minus 18. I'm going to put parentheses around that, and I'm going to bring this one here. And now I'm going to distribute these two polynomials. So now I'm multiplying these two. Okay? And that gives me r, whoops, this should be r, not x, my bad. R cubed plus 2r squared minus 3r squared minus 6r minus 18r minus 36. Combine like terms, and I get r cubed minus r squared minus 24r minus 36. 2 take away 3 is negative 1, if you want a negative 1 here. Negative 6 minus 18 is where I'm getting the negative 24. Part E asks us to multiply 4y plus 3 squared. So we're going to write it twice. You don't get to skip this part unless you can do it correctly in your head. So this would give me 16y squared plus 12y plus 12y plus 9. Those two middle terms should be the same because both of these have 4 plus 3y. So my final answer is 16y squared plus 24y plus 9. Okay, we have, I'm going to do 2 more. So part F, they wanted us to multiply 7a plus 3b and 7a minus 3b. So if I distribute these, I get 49a squared minus 21ab plus 21ab minus 9b squared. Okay, I distributed here, 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 and here. Now if I combine like terms, these are gone because 21 minus 21 is 0. So 49a squared minus 9b squared is our final answer. Last one, 5 cubed plus 4r squared means I have 2 of them. So 5q plus 4r times 5q plus 4r. Now you can pause it and check my answer. For h, I'm going to skip. If I distribute these, I get 25q squared plus 20qr plus 20qr plus 16r squared. These are like terms because they both have a q and they both have an r, and neither of them have, and they have the same exponent. So my final answer is 25q squared plus 40qr plus 16r squared. I'm going to check your homework from this section. You better have watched this video. Bye.